So, yeah, they're just, So, what am I looking at right now? I'm gonna do anime. So, what's am I gonna look at? I'm gonna probably be looking at Tower of God. I cannot find that Windmere real estate split anywhere. That's an interesting article. Let me see if it's on my favorites anywhere. I don't see it anywhere. So, Windmere, let's see if I even can see. I know there was a separate one. Why is this important? Because a lot of brokerage firms and a lot of these small companies. So a lot of what the YouTubers do, they want to split the corporation into smaller halves, right? The people working within the company, right? So there's unspoken of promotions people get. In return, right? They originally help expand the corporation because they're like a shadow CEO, right? To the CEO for these small businesses. Now, Silicon Valley does not have such a system, right? Because they're big companies, they're not really playing those kind of games, right? They're not really offering that kind of insanely high, because they're not on a commission-based system. Those are small companies for the most part, in general, right? And so programmers who can move up, they try to go based on if they can do it, they could go to the commission structure, right? Yeah. So, and how do you make the commission structure work? Well, you create something like this. Now, does YouTube care? Do they fucking care about this? No, they don't care, right? YouTube doesn't care whatsoever. But my point is, how do you make the commission structure? By showing different types of advertising, right? So advertising isn't just like buying your product initially. It might be buying other products, right? It's like an Amazon system, right? They're basically using an Amazon system to sell their stuff. So if you don't like this product, maybe you can buy a different product, right? To sort of satiate your appetite into buying my main product, right? Because people do settle, right? It's like the airport industry, right? So you buying a cheap airplane ticket, right? But most of your costs are made back selling other stuff. Similar to that, right? You're selling a real estate product at a discount. So real estate firms, right? YouTube is used as an anchor, a sales anchor, right? So let's say there's a house you want to buy down in Lake Stevens. It's like 500 grand total. Can't afford it right now. You don't want to buy it now. So a real estate guy's like, well, I'm going to be broke, right? Well, why don't I start some YouTube videos and why don't we talk about something else? Are you possibly, do you have any advertisers you're interested in? Are you interested in other products, right? He's like, well, I can't sell you this product right now. But someday, if I can help you with another problem, that's the best way to summarize it. Okay. If I can help you solve another problem that you might have, buying problem, maybe you can purchase one of my products one day. That's what it is. Okay. That was the right phrase I was looking for. Fuck. That's the simplest way to summarize this. That's what YouTube basically is. It's the, how about I solve another problem? How about I solve another problem while in return you buy one of my products as payment, right? And the goal is that you get the consumer to believe that they're underpaying you. It's a sales anchor in which you lowball yourself on purpose so they can highball you later, right? There's reverse sales anchors, right? It's a very advanced sales negotiation technique. And that's what YouTube is basically there for. That is the pyramid scheme. And a lot of these YouTubers, they're not really doing that, right? No one really is. That's what YouTube is built for. It's built for people who do advanced pyramid schemes. Advanced sales technique. You call it legitimate if you want. There's a debate. Yeah. That is, you got to use advanced sales techniques to get stuff to work. So a lot of these people like Stykes. Stefan Molyneux. Now, the great thing about Stefan that I like is I think he sort of figured out what the actual sales model for YouTube was earlier on without fully describing it like me, because he's been in the sales industry before. So you know what the great thing he did? He just did a donation model, right? I don't like it, but I respect people who actually believe in an actual axiom, in my opinion, sound ideology. No, it's sound within a certain context. It's probably one of those few ideologies I wouldn't even openly talk about, right? As an SJW. And it's sound because if I'm really rich, I would want to invest in that system. I'm here to game the system. Right? You got to think about your bottom line, right? I can't agree with them now because my bottom line sucks. So if you're a leftist and you're looking for consistency, don't bother. I'm only loyal to the cheddar. Right now, I'm just progressive. Yeah. So, oh my fucking god. It's you when you declassify this stuff, right? Do you want to talk about this? Because that's what's been going on since YouTube started, right? Is it on purpose? No. People just coordinate together and they figure this shit out on their own. Now, people like who entered Twitter later on didn't understand this advanced scheme, right? That's why they're struggling to get their stock high. And it's all about advanced sales. Right? You can't just do a basic sales technique where you just be like, "Hey, here's the price. Here's the I'm gonna negotiate like a normal salary negotiation." It does not work like that. Right? There's no point in YouTube just have people view it if they like it or not, right? It was higher quality on purpose because the people actually did the initial scheme to make money. It doesn't make money now because they're shorting it on purpose. They want to apply less effort while they get more and more cash. So the joke is the update's the downgrade. It's how a pyramid scheme works. It just gets worse and worse over time. Less competition. You, who is using the actual original way YouTube is intended to make by doing copywriting, get to make more and more money for yourself because there's less competition. Now, depending on how you angle it, if you work harder, which I don't think they care about, you get to make more and more money, right? It's always been like that. Now, as a YouTuber, you can opt out if you're debt-free. But a lot of YouTubers, I suspect, aren't. Feuds, I think, is clean. Right? Like, a lot of this stuff is just fake news. Like, just a distraction. And you know what great firms that can pull off distractions? Right? Well, I'm going to tell you a sad truth about distractions. People who can scam politicians are those who can pull the masters the politicians learn from to pull these schemes off can usually outmaneuver them, right? So they can believe in the censorship lie if they want. So Nancy learned her tricks from real estate brokerage firms. Small businesses that trained her up, right? They didn't want to go into the office, right? These insurance firms know about these tactics, right? Because a lot of these employees who get side income or shadow jobs go into these shadow small businesses and they run complex forecast models. And the trick to making them accurate is you get a programmer design an advanced API like YouTube to boost your odds up a little bit. And the other variables that are added are door-to-door sales, right? And so there's a lot of, so if we look at a statistical model, so people aren't going to tell the truth about this because why would you? Because all it does is make people hate each other. Because the mathematicians who are socially verbose, right, can simplify this stuff like Feynman. They become the new scam hucksters, right, of the modern era. So these people come from the Feynman class. Feynman taught people how to scam people a while back. Advanced scamming.